getting ready to go live.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. Got a question for RLN? It's time to get some answers, baby.
Oh, hold on, audience. Hold on, audience. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host. As I'm gathering everything, I'm your host, global happiness specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington. Welcome to the show, Reality Spirituality Radio, where I share with the audience and whoever is inspired, whoever is interested, whoever has an interest or intention of experiencing more happiness on this journey we call life. Oh, and what a morning it's been. But let me just give a brief introduction. Thank you for sharing the show. If you're listening on Noom Vibe, you're welcome to join the stage. I will look down at the phone periodically. And also, if you want to watch the show live, I'm on YouTube. The YouTube channel is Rebecca Norrington. Happiness specialist. Who the hell does she think she is? And in fact, happiness, I rather the term joy. Yeah, happiness fleeting. Listen, I've heard it all. I've been criticized. I've had sticks and stones thrown at me. I've been called every name from toxic to selfish to delusional. What was the other one? The latest was disingenuous. I've heard it all. But one of the things that I practice is not taking anything personally. But let me stay on the topic. When I say happiness, let me just give you my definition. Let me just share my definition. My definition of happiness is the ability to vibrate an energy, a personal vibration, a personal energy of contentment, regardless of what's happening and regardless of what doesn't happen. It doesn't matter what's going on out there in the world. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about that person in the mirror, you. And so you can still accomplish, you can still achieve, but with a foundation rooted in contentment. Is that even possible? Yes, it is, but it's a practice. And I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it too. And so what do you practice? Thanks for asking, Rebecca. What do you practice? You practice eliminating all of the program behaviors. All of the program behaviors. I'm up to 56. Actually, there's 57. If you're watching me live on YouTube, I'm holding up my latest book. It's called Programmed for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And in this book, I list 56, even though I'm up to 57 now, 56 program behaviors that subtract from that energy, that personal vibration of contentment, of peace, of relaxed satisfaction. You know, in any moment, you're either vibrating the energy of satisfaction or dissatisfaction. And quite frankly, the world sells dissatisfaction. Oh, it is for sale. You look at all the ads. How can you achieve more, make more money? And that hook is always about money. I mean, people program people just gravitate to it, thinking that money, the program is that money is going to somehow switch your energy or your vibration. But anyway, I digress. Happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is a state in mind. So when I use the word, I got to stop yelling at you. I got to stop yelling at my audience. When I use the word happiness, know that I'm talking about an energy. Or you could even say a frequency. And you know what's funny? What's funny? I say I'm live on YouTube, and I had some viewers, and then 2 seconds they're gone, and that's and but there's no reason why, and my ego will want to say why, and or give me a story as to why. And one of the topic today is a topic that yours truly, I'm not going to say struggles with, but because I'm very aware of it. It is the program of thinking anything is serious and or thinking anything is important. Thinking anything is serious and thinking anything is important. Now, I get it. Trust me, I get it from finance. Hell, what if you just got a diagnosis? You're 6 months left to live. You have 6 months left to live. I understand all of that. And in fact, there were when I lived in Oregon almost 5 years in the middle of a forest. It was my 40 days and 40 nights, but I digress again. And there were two of my friends, two people that I knew for at least 3 years, and both of them within a month's time were given a diagnosis. They had 6 months or less to live. Two of my friends, and one of them, which was a male, he listen. I can't even imagine how to even get that news or accept that news, but he was angry, and the anger never left him. And then my other friend, in fact, I dedicated this book program to for unhappiness to her. Her name was Tina, and Tina had a totally different vibration. Now, I'm not talking about when she got the news. I'm talking about settling into a of to of knowing that you're going to die. I can't even imagine that. And in fact, one of the things that I like to mention at the beginning of the show, especially to new listeners or the new audience, is that there's a very famous study. You can Google it. It's called The 5 Most Common Regrets of the Dying. And it was done by a hospice nurse. Her name is Bronnie Ware, I believe from Australia. And so she asked her patients, and they had days, weeks, months to live, just like my two friends did. And she asked them, what are your 5 biggest regrets? And these 5 regrets kept coming up over and over and over again. And they are: number 1, I wish I would have pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. Number 2, I wish I didn't work so hard. Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings and speak my mind. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Well, sometimes we outgrow people. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with you. It's just sometimes we have people in our life for a season or two. And the 5th regret is I wish I would have been happier. I wish I had let myself be happier. And that's all I'm talking about on this show, is the practice of maintaining and sustaining that state, that energy of peace, contentment, happiness. Throw in joy too, whatever. It's an energy that I'm talking about. How can you maintain that regardless of what life is throwing at you? And I say that Tina, I'll never forget. I was amazed by some of the things that she talked about and what she said. She was concerned about her husband of, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 years. And she actually left him a note to be found after she died, and the note said, listen, I want you to keep dating. I want you to, this isn't the end of your life. I want you to go out and have fun. And she even she even gave names of some of her friends that she thought gets me every time. She even gave him names of friends that she thought they would make a good couple or they would enjoy each other's company. So when I say programmed for unhappiness, it is about the programming, the deep-seated beliefs. And when I talk about 56 program behaviors, two of them, one is this is serious, and the other program behavior is this is important. Now, I realize, I get it, that the world will judge and the world will give you a story as to what is serious and what is important. And I have to say that me personally, when I say me, I'm talking about Rebecca, the ego, Rebecca, the human, the person. I'm not talking about the Rebecca that lives at that other level of awareness or that level of just witnessing. I'm not talking about that, Rebecca. I'm talking about the human ego, Rebecca, which is very, very prominent and just loves attention, loves to be fed, loves to come out of the out of the closet and perform. In fact, I'm the only one that can give this Rebecca a voice. I'm the only one that can give this Rebecca behave like that. And so when I share on this show is what I've experienced, and just the last week, because this idea of this is serious and letting go of that belief, practice eliminating that belief, that deep-seated belief that this is serious, from election results to health issues to family, you name it. That tag, that extra, this is serious vibe, this is important. And they're two separate. It's the same vibration. You can feel it. What happens is when and I'm saying the Rebecca when Rebecca, let me speak for her. When Rebecca thinks and believes something is serious, I want you to pay attention to yourself too. My shoulders, my neck, my shoulders get tight. My breathing gets shallow. I was paying attention today. My breathing gets shallow. It's a consuming focus. It's difficult to focus on something else. To focus on this is serious. And I'll give you an example what happened. I mean, and trust me, what Rebecca thinks is serious, you may think is trivial. And what you think is serious, Rebecca may possibly think that it's meaningless. Actually, all of it's meaningless, but that's another topic. I have two people assisting me on my YouTube channel. And in fact, if you're listening on Noon Vibe, you can watch me live on my YouTube channel, which is Rebecca Norrington. I have two people assisting me with my YouTube channel. And one person is responsible for, listen to this. Wait, what else can you do? I've been on Blog Talk Radio since 2012. It's an audio platform, and I recorded over 600 shows, probably 640 shows. I got an email from Blog Talk Radio a few months ago, a couple months ago, guess what? They're going out of business. And all of those shows that I've recorded since 2012, if I don't do something with it, I mean, they're just going to disappear. Now that's serious. Since 2012, my first show, the first show that I did where I couldn't put 5 minutes together, and now I can talk for an hour all by myself. My first show, stumbling and fumbling, and it was going to be gone. Oh, that was serious. You follow me? Rebecca knew, thought, believed that losing those shows was important and it was serious. Hold on a second. Let me get a sip of water here. I'm waiting for Voss to contact me. Voss water, the wetter, better water. Hold on a second. Okay, back to the story. So that's anyway, back to that story. Yeah, that was serious. So finding someone to assist me in downloading, saving all of those shows, and also title, you have to not only save the show, but you have to save the title, the date, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's a lot of work. And I am tech challenged, so tech challenged. I had no clue how to begin. So I asked around, and there's some people that I know that are brilliant. Thank goodness that I know some Einsteins in the tech field. And they promised to help me with that. Well, today, now, and I also deleted maybe about 100 shows of people, of shows that I was interviewing people, and really don't need to save those. Not all of them. So I'm down to 542 shows that still need to be saved and still need to be downloaded on my current YouTube channel. And it's only going to be audio only. It's going to be called Reality Spirituality Radio Podcast, audio only. Now, today I just happened to look at my YouTube channel, and some of the shows from these audio only from Blog Talk Radio are downloaded in the video section, are downloaded in the For You section. In other words, are all downloaded in the wrong section, in the wrong place. And Rebecca thought that was serious. And she proceeded to send a text, send an email to my person, my tech genius. This isn't, and I can tell, because the energy of calmness, contentment just shifts into this tight, harder. So the example I'm going to give, water has 3 states or 4 states. The state of being frozen, like an ice cube, the state of just flowing, and then also steam. So from the steam state, I went all the way to an ice cube. You can tell how tight and how rigid that feels. So I was in that ice cube state, absence of all contentment, because this is serious. Those shows, 542 shows, need to be in the right spot. And it was just the beginning of the transfers, just the beginning of the download. So I caught, I don't know if there were 10. I don't even know how many, but I caught it before all of them were downloaded in the wrong spot. Well, my tech genius got right on it and said, and then maybe 10 minutes later sent me a link to look. Now I look, and the whole section has disappeared. The whole section of Reality Spirituality Radio Podcast audio only shows all of it's gone. Everything's just disappeared. Now, again, Rebecca thinks that is serious. And let me give you another example. This is just this morning. On my YouTube channel, I have two sets of videos that are downloaded every week. This show, Reality Spirituality Radio, and then also there is a live show that my son and I do every Saturday morning at 9:15 on YouTube. It's called What Happens When a Mother and Son Make Sense Out of Nonsense Plus More. And we just recorded our latest show yesterday, show 53. So we've been doing that for a year. And the other person that's assisting me on YouTube is, if I got embarrassed, I'd be embarrassed. But the only reason why people get embarrassed is because they care what someone else thinks. So I don't really have the embarrassment gene anymore, but there's a little crispiness to all of this. So I looked at one of the thumbnails, and the title of that show is not what I've typed, what I've asked for, what I've requested for. And this isn't the first time. And if you're watching, hello, friend. And it isn't the first time that I mentioned this is the title of the show. I already had to change the title of the show once because of the algorithm. I guess the algorithm is important. And so I was requested to change to this title, What Happens When a Mother and Son Make Sense Out of Nonsense Plus More. It was longer before, but anyway, I don't even remember the original title. But the original title was I changed it. And the title is not correct after a month or 2 months of going back and forth with what the title is supposed to be. And Rebecca thinks that is so important. And Rebecca gets so bothered, annoyed, pissed off because Rebecca says this is serious and this is important. And so the solution, and while I was witnessing and observing this, Rebecca, and this is her, this is what she does. And this is what she's been doing for decades. And so now the practice is to observe and step out of identifying with this Rebecca, because every time I identify with my humanness, there are no exceptions. It's just a matter of time before the contentment, before the discontent comes, before there's a problem, before there's a focus on a problem, before something that she is going to be dissatisfied with. This Rebecca. Now, I'm not hating on her, not hating on Rebecca, but it's knowing your audience. And Rebecca can be moved up and down with any kind of external challenge, anything. I mean, she can just go into it instantly. And I'm asking you, my dear audience, can you relate? It's all the solution is shifting, practice eliminating this program belief that this is serious, this is important, because number one, it's a judgment. And you know that all judgments subtract from happiness. All judgments subtract from this level energy of contentment. All judgments subtract. So number one, it's serious, it's important, is a judgment. So in reality, I'm not only talking about is serious, important, I'm making judgments. So that's a triple whammy. And let's throw in another whammy, another program behavior of impatience. These shows and this title to the mother and son show, it needs to be changed now. I'm just pulling the curtains, and giving you an insight of Rebecca Norrington behind the curtains on stage, just like the Wizard of Oz. What's behind the curtain? But the awareness of it, the awareness is the work. And if you relate to this, or if you can relate to, I mean, I'm holding my hands together now in a prayer position. Just try it. Whatever mantra you want to use, whatever statement you want to use, this isn't serious, this is important, this isn't important. But be aware and catch the instant when the thought becomes when the thought becomes the truth that this is serious. It's like being kidnapped. Let me just share with you, because I wrote a list. I said, well, if I think titles to a show are important, and I think losing 552 episodes of my audio shows is important. Where's my list? I wrote a list. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm just because I'm on this. If I'm the global happiness specialist, I gotta walk it too. Okay. Oh, this was just last week. I had my family over for breakfast, and the Rebecca came out with her preferences on being so particular about the kitchen, the I don't even want to say it, the purse and the bags up against a white wall, or the hot chocolate that was spilled all over the white cabinets. Oh yes, it was boiled over on the stove. Hot chocolate spilled all over the stove and all over the white cabinets. Oh, that was serious. That was important. Oh, and then the acid, the orange juice poured, shake that was been being shaken, and some of it was spilling on these. I have these countertops that are not normal. They you actually can't put, they're high maintenance, and you can't put too many things on them, and you definitely can't put any acid on the countertops. I know. I got my hands up. I know. And Rebecca just came out, and she was just, oh, she was on fire. So it was what she thought was important. Okay, let me see what else. Family breakfast, YouTube channel. Oh, I an exercise instructor. However, I haven't been exercising consistently since May of 2024. I had my right hip replaced. It was, it was a new procedure. It's called anterior hip replacement. And in fact, if you know anybody that needs a hip replacement, the latest procedure is anterior. So they cut you from the front. The incision is from the front of the body, not on the side, not on the back. And I was able to walk the same day of surgery. And I had the left hip done 2 years ago. So the right hip was done. I was walking, but I've been lazy. I haven't been exercising like I used to. I haven't been teaching classes, not exercise classes like I used to. And I have been enjoying food. So consequently, I weigh more than I've ever weighed in my life. Even while I was pregnant with my son, I weigh, what is it, 158, no, I'm 156 pounds. That's how much I weigh. And I'm usually 140. So I'm 20 pounds, 15 pounds overweight. It's that serious, but it can't be that serious because I keep eating. I digress. The other thing, let's see what else. Brand. Oh, there the book that's on Amazon, it's also on different platforms. It's on another platform, digital to digital. And so I've been getting these emails that the information for the payment isn't complete. Trust me, I've tried probably 4 to 5 times to download the correct information, the bank account, and it always comes back. There's always a problem trying to contact somebody in customer service with these online platforms. Good luck. And so now I have royalties, and they're not a lot. They're not a lot, but royalties that I haven't been able to put into my account. Is that serious? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I thought that was serious. You follow me? And the other thing, oh, this is the latest. My Instagram post. Posting on Instagram, I just discovered my Instagram handle is RealitySpirituality. I just discovered that my post, when you post a picture and then you write a caption or you write some text, the texts haven't been showing up. I'm posting pictures, but there's no title, there's no reason why. So I'm posting these pictures of the show, the Reality Spirituality radio show on Sunday, and also the Saturday live show at 9:15 Pacific Standard Time, the one that I do with my son. And guess what? All you're seeing on Instagram is just a picture without any explanation of what these pictures are for. I just discovered that this morning. Oh, it's been a hell of a morning. And that was serious. And that was important. Serious and important. How many things are you thinking about that aren't important? How many things are you thinking about that aren't really serious? In fact, you can ask yourself that question. Is it really that serious? And what the ego will say is, yes, it is. My point is that you can take care of any type of business, any type of circumstance without that judgment and that extra energy piled on that says, this is serious. It's possible, but it's a practice. It's a mindful practice, and it also requires constant self-awareness. Let me see what else I wrote down as far as series. Okay, I did. Let's see. Sound. Oh, listen to this one. Yesterday, the show, What Happens When a Mother and Son Make Sense Out of Nonsense, we were live, and I just discovered this morning. As I listened back to some of the show, I don't listen to all of it. I'm one of those people. I don't watch my shows. I don't watch any. I just don't. I don't edit anything. Everything is live. Nothing's edited. I got to keep it moving. I'm 69 years old. I don't have a lot of time to go back and watch anything I did. But because my son and I did, after the show was live, I was still recording us, and we talked for another hour, and I went back and listened to maybe 3 minutes, and of course the sound was off. The microphone, I just discovered this morning, not yesterday when I did the show, not yesterday when the show was live, just discovered this morning that the mic was not, I was not using the Shure mic. I was using the internal speakers. I don't know why anything got plugged or unplugged. I don't know why it happened, but oh my goodness, that the sound on yesterday's mother and son show on my side sounds like I'm in a tunnel without the mic because it was using internal speakers. That was serious yesterday because when I listened back, oh, the sound, because I know that the look And the sound, especially the sound, is really important. You hear that? Even, and I get it, if it's a professional audio, yes. But this is just me in an office coming up with a show. So backing up, the practice is, what am I grateful for that that the show was recorded? What am I appreciative of? The show was recorded. It's just a shift, and a conscious shift of switching, of practicing. And I promise you, my dear audience, I promise you, when you make that shift and you are aware that on top of whatever you are experiencing, you are piling on judgments. This is serious. This is important. You're piling that on. There's no way to get to vibrate an energy of contentment when you're piling on judgment that this is serious and this is important. It's the same thing as there's no way of trusting when you're worried. You're either worried in the moment or you're either trusting in the moment. You can't do both. So this contentment can't exist with this is serious, this is important. And that goes for everything. I know I get a lot. Listen, I get a lot of, I'm going to say hate mail. I'm not going to say hate mail, but let me just catch on that. Uh, let me just tag onto this thing, this hate. There are a lot of people that are angry, hateful, disdain, and the pointing of the fingers out. It's always the other people. It's always the circumstance. It's always the world. It's one group against that group. This hate for anyone else. This hate. All of that hate is coming from within. All of that hate starts with the hate in the mirror. And quite frankly, I'm not telling you to change your hate. I'm just saying that that is an addiction to hating. And in fact, in the book, Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth, in the book, I talk about this addictions that people don't speak of. I'm not talking about the addiction to gambling or drinking or drugs or shopping or eating. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the addiction to hate, the addiction to needing to be right, the addiction to complaining, the addiction to seeing, just focusing on the negative, the addiction to having expectations, the addiction to drama. I could go on and on. The addiction to thinking something is serious or something is important. Again, if you want to join the show on Noom Vibe, you're welcome to join the asked to be a guest. What is it? Yeah, welcome to join. And or if you're watching me live on my YouTube channel, it's Rebecca Norrington on YouTube. The addiction to hate. Hating and blaming, the addiction to blame, the addiction to sharing bad news, the addiction to gossip, talking about other people. You know what? You know what I realize, and I hope nobody in my family is listening. But you know what, family? This isn't just my family. This is families that come on. Families love to talk about other people when they're not around. They just talk about other people in the family when they're not around. What is that about? And usually, the majority of the time, it's talking about someone else that is not in a positive way. I digressed on that one, this family thing. Yeah, this talking about other people. And in fact, when I really realized it, when I got married back in 1980, we're friends now. We're divorced, but we're friends. I consider him my brother. And I just remember being married into that family, and all they did was talk about someone else that wasn't in the room. So there were times I got talked about. Everyone got talked about. What is that about? Anyway, I'm just putting everybody on notice. By the way, you people, that's right, you people that find something to hate, usually I don't even know if anybody would be listening to the show if you're finding things to hate, but maybe you are. Finding something else, finding something to hate, if you can't blame it on let's just say political, if you can't blame it on politics, you will find something else to hate on. People that hate always feed their hate. They find something to hate. Now listen, I'm not making a judgment. I said hate on. But if you are serious and if you are committed to wanting to experience something other than the program is to, and I'm speaking for myself. This I used to. Are you kidding? I loved having an enemy. I loved having something to despise. Made me feel better about myself. Oh, yes, I'm above them. No. The alley is just as beautiful as the sunset. It's not easy. This practice is not easy. Let me just check my notes. Title wrong. Brand, the look. I said that. What is that? I can't even read my own writing. People that are programmed to say this. Oh, this is something else that used to bother me. Programmed people. When I say program people, I go into I get this compression therapy a lot, and the one gentleman that is there says the same thing to me every single morning, and it's not morning. How are you? It's the same line. And it's not about the gentleman, and it's not about the bank teller. It's the same thing. Is there anything I can help you with? How's your day going? It's 8:30 in the morning. How's your day going? All of the programming. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. The ability to recognize a program instantly, and wanting the world to be different, and wanting the world to not have the programs, and wanting the world to wake up to these program behaviors that aren't doing you any good. Desiring and wanting that is another program. It's another program. So my practice is practicing acceptance of all people and wherever I find them on their journey. Let me get a drink of water after that one. Lord. It this walking the walk. Oh my God. Yeah, so the bottom line is this: for any challenge, for any experience, all the solutions, every solution is always found in the mirror. And trust me, that irritates, that irritates, that irritates Rebecca. It doesn't irritate Rebecca. I'm used to it now, but it's such a lot. It's just a lot of being aware and consciousness at every single moment. There are no breaks. There are no days off. There is no vacations. It is an ongoing practice. And I know that anytime I am bothered, irritated, annoyed, angry, it has nothing to do with the other person. It has something to do with who I'm identifying with. I'm thinking this is serious. I'm thinking this is important. I'm placing the blame. I'm not living in the present moment. Do you know that there would be no such thing as triggers or buttons being pushed if you lived in the present moment? No such thing. If I lived in the present moment all the time, if I was able to live in the present moment, and I'm saying that I practice living in the present moment, there are no references to yesterday. How would I know what I was triggered by if I'm really living in the present moment? My son was telling me yesterday, Mom, this life that you're describing sounds boring. No, it's not boring. There's always something to do. There's always something to practice. So let me just ask these questions. How many things do I think about? And when I say I'm using the ego I, the Rebecca. How many things, let me just use her. How many things does Rebecca think about that aren't important? A lot. A lot of things that are not important, but the practice is to allow Rebecca to be Rebecca. You go, girl, and practice witnessing, looking at, observing this entity that is bothered by the wind blowing the wrong way. She's not that bad, but all of the things that I've the last week of thinking something is serious and thinking something is important, all of those things happen. This is what I believe. All of those things happened to allow me to practice forgetting. Can you imagine living in the present moment and I forgot and you forgot the past? And I mean instantly. As soon as something comes in, it goes out. Instant forgetting. Forgetting, letting it go. And that includes holding grudges, pointing fingers, blame, but just living in the moment. Do I have it mastered? No. But it is surely a practice. Forgetting instantly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Recover quickly, rejoice quickly. Next moment. Okay, here we go. Seatbelts. Not if. By the way, I should have gave a warning before the show that always strap on your seatbelts. The truth is, let me just speak for myself. The truth is, this human body will be gone in an instant. This human body lives for a speck of time. A speck, not even a grain of sand. It's even smaller than that. It's just here, beep, and then it's gone. This is an experience. So my practice is going to be experience it all as if it was meaningless. What? You heard me. My practice is to experience it all as if it were meaningless. This is not reality. This life is a figment of my imagination. This is a perceived experience. The practice is to concentrate, scratch that. My practice is to concentrate and focus on my consciousness. And if I can be at peace, consciously be at peace in a stadium of 1,000, 40,000, 50,000, then I can be at peace anywhere. And that is the practice. Getting down to dissecting it to the least common denominator. What am I rooted in? What is my foundation? What am I rooted in? Contentment, peace. There's a difference. There's a different way of experiencing this thing called life. And it doesn't have to be practice where I'm tossed and turned based on circumstances. I use the ocean for an example. The bottom of the ocean, it's dark. There's no light. It's all peaceful. And then you go higher to the surface of the ocean, and it could be in any state, from turmoil to a tornado, to wind, to waves up and down. So where am I choosing? Scratch that. Where am I practicing to live? I can still take care of everything that I need to take care of in this lifetime, but guest. I have a guest. Yay. I'm so glad I looked down. Hi, Kristen.
Rebecca, I have been enjoying this conversation so much, and I try to join as often as I can with you and your son and everything. Sundays are busy days for me, so it's like, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But if I haven't told you recently, I love and adore you.
Oh no! And I'm getting chills when you just started talking. I was getting chills, and I get chills when I connect with people that the truth. But anyway, I'm getting chills. But I thank you so much. Well, I love you too.
Everything you're saying right now about practicing presence and navigating the highs and lows. I was just having a conversation last night with a loved one who is like, I know my anxiety gets the best of me, and then I don't act the way that it's not my highest self. And I said, with practice, like you've so eloquently been talking about, with practice of the right tools that are actually going to register and are going to shift the nervous system. I've really learned that when I do that consistently and I choose peace first, that my highs are not very high and my lows are not very low.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess my son was saying that, mom is going to be boring, but yeah, they're the highs and the lows. But I mean, there are times when I get excited. Yes, of course. But it is an even kind of keel of life.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when did you discover that? And how did that feel? I mean, was it odd? Because before I even got into this programming stuff, I was an up and down and up and down and up, like a roller coaster. So how did you, number one, discover that? And how was it uncomfortable?
Well, at the time, this was about 14 years ago, where my highest priority at that time, based on all the crazy hell I was going through, was peace.
Mm.
So I really was just focusing on peace. Like, what do I need to do? And I was meditating like crazy. I was walking in nature. I was changing my belief systems. I was practicing presence. I was doing all that. And all of a sudden I remember just sitting there one day at a family function, and I was just baseline. I was just homeostatic. I was just in that place. And I thought it wasn't uncomfortable at all. It was, this is a thing. Like, I really am not feeling, as far as dense emotions, up and down, like the crazy judgments, nothing. Like, it was all gone. I was just observing.
Mhm.
And I was about 42 at the time. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. But then I kind of got out of practice because I thought innocently, honestly, naively, I thought, okay, well, this is done. And then life happened, more life happened, more life happened. And I was like, oh, this is a practice.
Mhm.
This is something I need to be consistent with. And so I once again recalibrated and said, peace is my priority. And what do I need to do to maintain my peace? And within that, Rebecca, I'm sure you can relate because we're so like-hearted, minded, and soulfully connected. I feel like, I forgot what I was going to say.
We are alike. We are alike. I forget all the time. That's right. Let's forget together. Keep going.
I own it. What was I going to do? Let me pull it back here. Oh shoot, it's completely gone. Nope, it's gone. It'll come back though.
Okay. Yes. Now, one of the things that I share is because I am so lazy, is that when I go, when this is what I do. I just go outside, my palms are up, and I ask the universe. And I would love for you, if you do have time to join again, I would love if you have time. But my both palms up, and I just ask the universe, how do I practice? How do I practice experiencing more contentment? How do I practice experiencing more peace? It's always the how to questions, and I let it go.
Mm-hmm. And I do. I'm going to just jump down and come back.
Yes, please.
Because I'm timing out. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I love it. I love it. Click and click. Click and click. Yay. Okay.
Thing I'm in connection with. Again, this started back about 14 years ago because I always believed in universe, higher power, God, source, whatever anybody wants to call it. I am all that is. I always believed in that energy. And so I had kind of forgotten, for lack of a better word, that it was there. And that's what I really started connecting to 24/7, 365, like my best friend. Like, that is who I talk to in my head or out loud. And I've also acquired, just along my journey, the phrase, all is well. That is my, I remember what I was going to say too. And I wonder if you have this experience, is there's a massive slowing down that happens is when the thing happens. It's not that I don't feel, because I absolutely have emotions, but there's a slowing down that happens. In this observer position, I feel like there's less frenetic energy. So as a rise, I can just sit with it. Where a lot of people are like, oh my God, all this is happening. Wow. And I can just sit with it and get so clear about what is the next step, or what is intuitively, what do I feel that I need to say to this person? Because such a fixer, such a rescuer for so long. And it was draining me. So then I realized I can't fix, I can't rescue. That's only a temporary Band-Aid. So I started to just practice differently. So it was the slow down, Rebecca, that I was talking about, just the whole slowing down and observation of things that arise. Are you the same? Do you do that too?
I'm just still getting chills with you. What I do is, listen, the fixer, now, were you a people pleaser?
Oh, absolutely. You probably don't listen to my talks. I wrote the book, The Recovering People Pleaser.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I just felt that just for a minute. No, I had no. And so the people, those people pleasers, they're people too. I love the people pleasers, but recovering. And wow, that's a big topic. But back to what you were asking, what I I can save the world. If the world was more like me, it would be a better place. And and all of that. And what I discovered, scratch that, what the universe pointed to me is that everybody is living their own journey, and their journey is perfect for them. So this idea of me saving or wanting anybody to be different, I really had to let that go. I mean, I was in everybody's business.
That's a big one too, is letting people be where they're at. And yeah, that was a huge one for me.
Yes.
Is understanding that every single person is at a different stage in their journey. And it's not me to wish or want or believe it should be any different.
And I find that so in the book Program for Unhappiness, I have 56. And so one of them is staying out of other people's business. And I just knew everything that was wrong with every single person. And no, it now is letting it go. But back to what you said too. What did you were talking about? When you said that you didn't practice, or when you and I also, if you do have time to come back, when you
Sure.
when you weren't you let the practice go, that's what you said. And then so this is what I do. I don't know if you do this, but I do not pay attention to any of the stories, all these stories. And when I this is the reason why I did this. No, it just wasn't. Something's happening. It's because it's time for it to happen. And if it's not happening, it's just not time.
That's right. That's a big one. That's another huge one, is just letting go, letting God, surrender. Surrender is my mantra. And it's a practice. Surrender is a practice.
Yes.
And like Gabrielle Bernstein says, surrender, then surrender some more, then surrender some more, then surrender some more. And that's really what it's all about. It's just letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. So anytime I find myself attached to something, I'm going to suffer. There's going to be suffering involved with that attachment. So I learned to sit in a place of non-attachment to outcome or results, keep showing up as my highest and best self that I'm capable of in that moment, and paying attention to universe, the signs and signals about what's next, because I don't know, but the universe does know.
Yes.
That's exactly how to guide me.
Yes. You're going to, no, come back. So, okay, this is what I want to say. Okay. All right, here we go. This is going to be a good one. Okay. Ooh. Wow. I'm on fire. She put me on fire. I'm hot. Let's go. Okay. So now you said I'm going to suffer. And so it's the Kristen that suffers.
Mhm.
So do you, because my practice is watching Rebecca, observing Rebecca, not because Rebecca is going to suffer. So it's even practice. My practice is not using this, talking about my personal life, not using the word I or my. It's not my house. It's not my body. It's not my car. It's the car. It's the body. It's the my and the I. I practice not using those words.
Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting is that when you were talking about not being anybody's business, I learned something from Byron Katie. I don't know if you're aware of her.
Love her. Four
Yeah,
questions.
Yeah. And she, my life, literally took me out of a year of chronic anxiety by practicing her work. And she says this: whose business are you in? Because if you're not in your business, you're going to suffer. So whose business are you in? Yours, your neighbors, or God's? This is her words. Yours, your neighbors, or God's. So I really practice out. I'm like, whose business am I in? And how I notice I'm not in my business is I'm ruminating on somebody else's problem, which was a big deal for me because I wanted to help everybody. Someone called me last night that said they were in a funk, and already today I'm like, I need to send them a message and empowering.
No, leave them alone.
Like, you know what? Yeah, I was like, is that my business? The person didn't make it my business. They didn't say, I want your help, Kristen, which they have in the past, but this time they have not. So they're like, I'm just in a funk, I'm just going through a thing. And I said, okay, that's not my business. So being that I am on the Enneagram, I'm the helper. Okay, that's
Mhm.
what I was tested into, which I don't attach the labels by any means,
Sure.
but I am naturally the nurturer, the giver. I'm a huge nurturer. So I don't want to say fight against, because it's not fight.
Mhm.
Is I'm aware of where I'm trying to insert myself, where I haven't been invited. And I don't do that anymore. I say, okay, I get really mindful about this and say, am I invited into this space? Is this person asking? Do they want my help or do they not? And if not, if I find myself thinking about it, oh, I wish I could help them, I just say, not your business, Kristen. Not your business.
I love that. And I'm the opposite. I mean, not that I'm not going to help anybody if they need it, but listen, give it to God. And I love those three things that you said. Give it to God. Is it, no, God's business, your business, or what was the other one? 3. Hello? No, did I lose her? Hello, hello. Ah, so good. Oh, hello?
Am I cutting out?
Yeah, you cut out for a while. You're back now. You're back. You're back.
Okay, I'm at my doctor's. It's full like 68 right now. So, and sometimes my Wi-Fi is weird, so I moved positions. Your neighbors is the third one that Byron Katie said.
Okay, your neighbors. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Because she's all about stopping us from suffering. She's all about us stopping ourselves from suffering and the suffering thoughts. And in the vein of peace that we've been talking about, I can suffer if I'm taking on something that's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the whole let it be what it is. Also, when it comes to someone going through something, I really do my best not to worry, Rebecca. I try to just send them the ultimate healing love.
Well,
so that whatever works out for the highest good.
Well, you're doing too much with that. You don't even have to send them love, because they're already taken care of. Mm-hmm. You're doing too much.
Well, I feel like we can add vibrationally.
I'm joking.
To other. Okay.
Yeah. I was joking with that. It was a really bad joke that fell flat.
Well, I heard about the joke that you were going to tell when you were on with your son, and you were going to tell a joke on a stage or something. Remember that? That was like maybe last weekend.
Oh, I don't know. Listen, I've been gifted the not remembering yesterday. So yeah, that's a gift. I asked the universe, how can I live in the present moment? And I was gifted the memory failure. I don't oh good. Yeah. No, yesterday, don't ask me to remember anything from yesterday or anything from last week, unless, go ahead.
It was something to do with limited beliefs and maybe donuts.
Oh, donuts.
Was it about, I only had, I don't know, something of limiting beliefs. I don't know. Here we are, the two of us.
I know my mouth is open. I'm not even looking into the camera. My head is turned to the side. My mouth is hanging open, trying to figure this out. But
you can ask your son and then DM me. I remember you guys were talking about a joke, and he was like, "Well, you could have a better opener to the joke, and your punchline should be more like this."
Oh yes, I'm going to. Well, at least I was inspired to do this 3-minute improv stand-up routine in Florida in January, but I need to write some jokes.
Right. Yeah. You guys are working on the jokes. It was I don't know. I was cleaning the kitchen or cooking or something. I had you guys on, and I was just cracking up. I'm like, yeah. Here's the thing, Rebecca. I think I'm funny. My future son-in-law thinks I'm funny, but my son does not think I'm funny. My daughter does not think I'm funny. My husband thinks I'm funny. So it's really subjective.
Wow. Subjective. Wow. And that is funny that they don't think that you're funny.
You're not funny, Mom. No, I am funny. That's what I say. That's my answer. No, I am. I really am.
That is, I love that. That is so funny. Wow. Wow.
laughing. I saw Brian down there. Melissa Brent and Deb Chandler are here too. And I saw Brian and Cher. Oh, you got a lot of, and Robin's here. You got a lot of people.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to encourage one of them to come up and speak with you. We do have a Christmas party I have to get to
okay.
at
Yes.
noon. So I got a boogie, but thanks for having me up, sister.
It is a pleasure meeting you, and I'm definitely going to follow up and listen to. When are you on live? When are you on?
I'm on Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern,
Oh.
and then I jump in randomly on the weekends.
Okay, good. Well, I'll look for you, and I definitely want to go on live too. I love that, and thank you so much for introducing yourself. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Oh, bye. Wow, what a nice treat. What a nice treat. Well, listen, I don't even remember where I was, but I just enjoyed speaking with her so much. And I know this show is only supposed to go till 10 o'clock. I have an appointment at 10:30 for my cryotherapy, my neck cryotherapy, and also compression therapy on my legs. So can you hold it till next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time? I'm going to be live. And then also, if you want to listen to the show on Saturday, 9:15 Pacific Standard Time too. That's the show I do with my son. But I really thank you so much, audience, and for wanting to contribute. I love this woman. I never met her, but I've seen her, but I've never listened all the way to the show. I probably listened a couple of times, but now we've been officially introduced. What a you see how the universe works. It always brings the people that I'm supposed to connect with. Period. End of story. To wrap everything up, practice letting go of these program behaviors, that this is serious and that this is important. You can still take care of your business. You can still navigate through life without that energy of making a judgment of this is serious and this is important. And to, Lord have mercy. Of course, I'm fumbling around. Where is oh, geez, Louise. Fumbling. Well, that's the end of today's show. And that is the end of today's show. Follow me on Instagram, Reality Spirituality. YouTube channel is Rebecca Norrington. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth is on Amazon. And in that book, I list 56 program behaviors, including the ones that this is serious and this is important, and judgments. And until next week, my dear audience, I just want you to remember who you are. You are the physical extension of the universe, always changing, always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. Happiness is a practice skill, and your experience on this planet is going to depend on what you practice. Loading up the music.
Oh, it's time to get real. It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. You got a question for RLM?
Listen to this. I'm working in my kitchen.
Now we getting real. And time to get down. You gonna feel great now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about.